welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Darian, also known as Mrs. G here on YouTube, and today I am sharing with you 10 things that I wish I knew about a C-section. If you did not catch my previous videos, I talked about my experience in delivering my son, and I will have that up in the cards and linked down in the description box, so check out that video. It goes into a lot of detail on how my experience went, as it was very much unplanned, hence this video. I did experience sort of both ways of delivery-ish. I pushed for 5 hours, and I feel like I got a very good idea of how delivering vaginally is, and then I ended up having to do a C-section. So I am sharing these things not to scare anybody, not to freak anyone out about a C-section. My experience may totally be different than somebody else's C-section experience. Again, mine was not planned, and so a planned C-section may be a little different, but a couple of these things are very common for most C-sections. I hope that you like this video, and if you do, please hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing, and let's get started. Number 1, if you are completely put out with anesthesia, your significant other cannot be in the room during delivery. This is something that we did not expect to happen to me, but when I went in and got my spinal block did not work. After having 2 epidurals and a spinal block that didn't work, they determined that the best case scenario for me was to completely put me out with anesthesia. My husband did not get to be in the room for the delivery, and that is because C-sections have to speed up once the person is out. They have to intubate you, all of those different things. This surgery just needs to be you and the doctor and the prep team to get everything done as soon as possible. So this next one, number 2, is something that I guess makes sense, but I didn't understand the full extent of, and that is you will still bleed from your private areas after delivering a C-section, which obviously is a given if you're going to be delivering vaginally. That's why you got to wear the giant granny panties and disposable underwear and giant pads. I was already expecting that, but since I had a C-section delivery, I was not expecting to have all of that, because I mean, they're taking the baby out, they're taking your bosom out, they're cleaning it all up in there. So I did not think that I would have and experience everything that you do when you deliver vaginally. I figured you'd have a little bit, but not as much as I did have. So that is something that makes sense, but I did not. Number 3, any movement hurts very badly. It is a major abdominal surgery, and I think that people forget that. They think, you know, you're just delivering a baby that way. It is hardcore surgery. They are cutting you open and messing around in your organs. You are going to hurt. You're going to be very, very sore, but movement is what they're going to want you to do. I thought those people were crazy. I was high on the drugs that they still gave me, and these people are pushing on my stomach and telling me to cough and wanting me to walk. And I was like, I think you people are nuts. I did not know that the movement and everything that they're trying to get you to do, going on walks down the hallway, all of those things are to help prevent getting blood clots, which is a well-known risk when it comes to surgeries. And so moving is what they wanted you to do. Since I was intubated because I was put out, it brings up a lot of ickies, and so I had to cough a ton. My body just needed to cough, and I discovered that you need to hold a pillow to your stomach to cough, sneeze, laugh, just kick anybody out that's going to make you laugh, because it hurts so bad that you literally feel like you're going to fall apart. You're really not. You're not going to bust your stitches, but holding a pillow to your stomach definitely saves you a lot of trouble. Number 4, you're going to get constipated. Very constipated. They put me on a bunch of different medications after the surgery, and one of those was like a stool softener. However, it was very low dosage and I did not know that. And so I was taking that pill for several weeks after delivery because the first time you go hurts so bad. But I did not know that I could increase or take something else, and I suffered for an entire month of being very constipated, and when I went, it hurt really bad. And what happened to me is I was so constipated and just needed to get it out that I pushed so hard and I actually tore, and I got an anal fissure because of that constipation. Once your body starts regulating itself, it doesn't hurt, but because I pushed so hard and got an anal fissure, I, for an entire month, had to down the laxatives basically to try to help me, and stool softener and all of that. Of course, talk to your physician about any of that. I am not a physician. I am not in the spot to be giving medical advice, but I know for the next time I go to have a C-section, I will be taking that laxative prior. Number 5, the fluids, the IVs, everything that they're gonna give you is going to make your body swell. I figured I would swell a little bit, obviously because I'm pregnant and swollen everywhere, but I did not expect the amount of fluid to pool in my legs. My feet were stretched as far as my skin could go, to where my skin was starting to hurt. My legs literally felt like they were 70 pounds each. Like they were very heavy. Walking was hard. I felt so weighed down in my lower extremities. So bad, in fact, that I went into the hospital wearing size 9 shoes. So my feet, I'm normally 8.5, so my feet were swollen a bit. Size 9 shoes in women's. I left the hospital in size 13 men's. That is how swollen my feet were. 13 men's. That is a tremendous jump from one to the other. And so next time I go in, I am going to keep in mind that my body is going to swell and I need to bring a larger pair of shoes to leave, because unfortunately I had to leave wearing my dad's shoes. Number 6, you might experience numbness in your abdominal area. This is something that I felt several weeks after the C-section. I was starting to heal and being able to gain back more movements that were more comfortable, and I was definitely on the right track. However, the right side of my lower abdomen, it felt funny. If you touched it, I can feel that you're touching it, but it was that awkward kind of hurt kind of feel. What it reminds me of is when your arm's asleep or something like that. So you get that little tingle, weird sensation, and if you touch it, it just feels weird. That is how my right side of my lower abdomen felt. And this went on for quite a while, and I didn't really think anything of it, just figured it's a side effect of having a C-section. I figured it would go away. I finally just asked the doctor and I said, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. Is this normal? It's been going on for a while. I'm not in pain, but is that normal? He pulled up a chart of the nervous system and showed me the abdomen and explained where the incision was, and talked about how the doctor could hit a nerve and damage it. And in that case, you can go numb. And so I asked him if it would go away, and he said, no, that's kind of the way it is. And actually speaking to my mom, who's had a similar surgery, she also feels the same thing. So she is also numb in that area and has been for 20 years. And I am a year postpartum and still numb in that area. Number 7. This one may seem kind of obvious, but it was very hard for me. And that one is, you will need help. I knew that they say ask for help, always accept help, all of those things. But I'm saying you need help. And in different ways that I did not expect. And one of those was showering. And once I was able to shower, getting into the shower and out, and then making sure that I did not slip, because any of that fast movement could tear stitches and all of that. I had to have assistance. So the first time I showered, I had to have the nurse assist me. And I was in the hospital for several days, and my husband had to assist me. My mom had to assist me at one point. So that's something I was definitely not expecting. I thought that I could do those things by myself, but my body physically couldn't. I needed the help. And I am an insanely individual, like independent woman. And I would never ask for help in that area unless I absolutely had to, and I did. Another thing is, once you have a C-section, you're not supposed to be lifting anything heavier than your baby. That's the car seat, that's the diaper bag, that's anything along those lines. So my husband had to do a lot of the carrying of those things. Something that was actually really hard for me was like the rocking and like swaying motion of trying to soothe baby. Was not something that I could do initially after the C-section, and for the next like day and a half in the hospital. Anytime baby cried, Eric would get up, bring him to me. I would nurse him. Eric would burp him and soothe him and put him back to sleep. So literally all I did was sit in bed and nurse, get my kettles, and then daddy got to change the diapers and all of those things. It was amazing bonding for them, but it was physically not something that I could do. Number 8, avoid cars for quite a while. I believe my doctor even told me not to drive for the first 6 weeks. The reason being is, when you are in a moving car, whether you're driving or you're sitting, one, the seatbelt goes right across your incision, which is not comfortable whatsoever, and they don't recommend anything does get put on that area. And then when you're in a car, any sudden stops or hard turns, anything like that, you have the risk of tearing your stitches because of that quick, fast jabs and movements. Those are movements that you are supposed to avoid for the first 6 weeks, and driving in cars is one of them. So even if you're not the driver, being a passenger really hurts as well. So I basically stayed home for an entire 6 weeks. Number 9, it is okay to grieve. This is something that I was not given permission to do. I struggled really hard and didn't really have anybody to like soothe me or tell me it's like listen to me or anything along those lines. Because I had a C-section the way I did, I was put out completely with anesthesia. My husband did not get to be in the room, and I was not awake. So I did not wake up for several hours later, so I did not get to hear my baby cry for the first time. I did not get that immediate skin-to-skin contact. My husband and I did not find out the sex of the baby so that we could have that like movie scene, baby being born, and congratulations, it's a boy, all of that stuff. So we didn't get to have that. We did not find out what we had together. Those were a couple things that were really hard for me. And then when I was in bed and baby cried, and again, I couldn't like jump out of bed to go get him and soothe him and rock him and all of that, that was really difficult, because that was bonding time that I expected to have and wanted to have, but didn't get to have. Those are things that you look forward to, like the labor and delivery and everything's hard, but that moment that baby gets placed on your chest, you want that and you're ready for that and you dream about that, and I did not get to have those things. I felt like I couldn't be sad, and I had the right to be sad. There were things that I missed that I wanted to experience with my husband and that initial bonding with my baby, and I didn't get to have it. And I hope that everything goes well whenever we have our next kid and I can be awake and experience those things. But I don't need to feel guilty about it. You don't need to feel guilty about it. It is okay to grieve that you didn't get to experience some things. And it's not being a brat because it didn't go as planned. I figured it was not going to go as planned. but I was not anticipating missing some big moments. Number 10, it takes a long time to heal. This one makes sense, but I did not realize how long it could actually take. When I was doing research about a C-section after having one, because I wanted to understand the postpartum and kind of an idea of what to expect, it said that it could take like 9 months for your body to start feeling like itself again. It did take quite a long time for me to be able to do normal daily tasks. For example, sweeping, the whole bending over thing. Nursing was very hard. I had to do different holds. The football hold felt the best because I had no baby laying across my stomach. But I kind of had to learn how to do things differently and slowly build back up what I could do every single day. I am 13 months postpartum and I still have recovering to do. I still experience that numbness. It has not gone away at all whatsoever. And then if you even touch my incision area, the sensation hurts. If like my husband comes up and hugs me from behind and like his hands touch my lower abdomen, and if he like pulls or something, like joking around with me or like grabs me, it hurts. And there are times when like I can feel internally things definitely still hurt. Not sharp pain where I need to go to the doctor that something's legitimately wrong. And I have talked to my doctor about all of this, but I do experience some pains with certain movements. With a C-section, expect that it can take longer for some people. Some people are like good to go really quick, and that is absolutely amazing. I wish I was one of you ladies. But definitely think about that and give yourself a ton of grace. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Hit that bell notification button so that it lets you know when I post a video. I do post every single Wednesday, and during this month of May, we are doing Motherhood May, where each week I talk about a different subject of motherhood. If you missed the past couple of videos, I will have them in the cards above and a link down below, so definitely check out those. I go into a bit more detail about bringing Mr. Micah into the world, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Can't wait to see you next week. But before you go, please write down in the comments one thing that you wish you knew about delivery, vaginal or C-section. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, and I will see you next week. Bye!